Hey, Simon here with another Too Many Projects. Just a little quick one today. If anyone's been watching the CD200 renovation videos recently, you'll have seen some really shocking metal cleaning ideas, and it hasn't been my best work. So I've been trying to step up my metal cleaning and polishing game a little bit, and I wanted to share with you some new tools I'd picked up and purchased off the internet, which I think are going to improve my metal polishing game a little bit. Let's have a look. First of all, my friend Loic kindly found this little bench grinder on the street on his road, and he didn't need it, so he asked if I wanted it. I said yes. Just had to get a new switch for it. That's why someone had thrown it away in the street, and that came off Amazon for £4, so that's pretty nice. I don't really do a lot of bench grinding though, so I was thinking about how I could use it in other ways, and I found this company on the internet called Metal Polishing something or other, metalpolishing supplies.co.uk, something like that. Anyway, I'm not endorsing them, just found they had some cool products, and they were this kit with a few extra bits. So, I mean, what they make is actually a specific set of tooling to convert your bench grinder over here into a metal polishing device. I don't know why there seems to be a need to have a separate device for polishing metal and for grinding things. I mean, it's just a motor with a spinning thing in it. But here's what we've got. We've got this set of metal polishing discs, which are of varying hardness. You've got the sizable ones very hard. This is made of very tightly packed cloth, and this is some very loose cloth for the end. It comes with these little bars of soap, which they're a compound to polish the metal with when you're using these discs, in varying coarseness, I imagine. And crucially, because those discs don't fit on this bench grinder, they have also sold me a couple of these. So these are adapters, and they're going to go on the axle on the side of the bench grinder here. And that's going to mean I can attach these discs to the bench grinder using this conical threaded thing on the end. Now, little note that I got caught out because this is the left-hand one, this is the right-hand adapter. That's because each side of the bench grinder goes the same way, so you need to make sure that these threads are going to tighten themselves up when the stuff's spinning. But crucially, something I didn't know is that actually I think the left-hand one they've got in stock is a bit of an older model, perhaps. Anyway, they're different. The bigger one here doesn't come into two pieces. It's just one piece of metal that slots onto an axle and gets tightened up, whereas the right-hand one, which goes that way, I guess, actually has two parts, and you can take the conical threaded bit out. And that's important because one of the things I was worried about when I was buying it was carbon coated stuff, you know, the top of pistons or the stuff I've been cleaning with the CD200 engine. And these are Scotch-Brite discs, and they actually go onto another part, which is this little mandrel, which is designed to go in a drill. So you can, you don't need a bench grinder for this. You just pop everything together, pop all the washers in there, and you end up screwing this disc into the end of a mandrel, so it's like a drill based thing. And what we can do as a result of having nearly all the things this company sells now is you can take out the conical bit from the right hand thread adapter, axle adapter, and you can pop in your Scotch-Brite mandrel. So there should be every grade of polishing thing that I need. Now, to put it all together, all I need to do is, first of all, remove the inner and outer guards and these grinding discs, which I can just do with a jump cut. There you go. With that off, we've just got these two axles here, which I know are spinning towards me on the top, so they're coming this way. So all we need to do, they've got two Allen grub screws on the right hand one. That may never come off. Certainly is a tight fit. as specified in the instructions. And there we go, pop the spindly thing back in. Same on the other side. That's more like it. We'll put the Scotch Brite pad straight in here, because I can use that side for testing the polishing. So there's just this mandrel here which then has various length bolts, so you can put different amounts of Scotch Brite. Bolt goes into there. Scotch Brite pad, one side. Let's have a look at the other side. I'm going to go with the hardest sisal wheel to begin with. Now, the man in the instruction video did say that there are staples in the back of this, and the back of this is important for some reason. Oof. There we have an initial metal polishing machine. So I've picked up a couple of things to play with. This is a rusty old trowel, and this is the bottom pulley off a very large diesel engine I used to own. Been using it as a doorstop for a great many years, but we just had some lovely new floors put in upstairs, a nice oak-topped engineered flooring, and I don't want to be sliding this around the new floor in the same way I used to. So I thought if I was going to put some felt on the bottom to stop it from scratching, I might as well try and clean it up just a little bit. It's not in terrible condition, just to make it a bit more pleasant to look at where it is sitting on the new floor up there. So we'll have a play with that as well. Let's just go, shall we? Now, the man in the instruction video on YouTube here, he was quite specific about making sure your bench grinder is properly secured. It's not a big bench grinder. With the Scotch Brite pads, I do feel like I fancy a protective glove. Eye protection, very important of course, but I don't want to hurt myself by accident. So let's try it. Let's see if anything flies off in my face. Whew. Oh, we really should secure that down a bit better, shouldn't we? Alright, fine. Mr. Safety, you win. Right, there we go. Couple of screws. That's properly secure now. That's more like it, right? So I thought I'd do half this trowel. Just a quick before shot. So I'll probably do the left half or something like that to see what it looks like afterwards. It's important to note the thing spins this way, so I'm only going to be polishing stuff here where it pulls the piece away from me as it spins. And the first thing I'm going to do is try to get a lot of this rust off with the Scotch Brite over here. See how that goes. Alright, so that's the result after just the Scotch Brite pad. Sort of kept going, there's quite a bit of pitting on there from rust. But we're not going for perfection. But I thought I did try to sort of cut through the pitting where I could, because I figure the polish isn't going to do that. But there again, it's not exactly a thick piece of metal, this, so I don't want to lose too much. Now, the polishing wheels need a compound on them to polish, to do their polishing work. And I've got a lovely guide here which is going to remind me what colours. Now this is a steel trowel, and you do use different compounds for softer metals and harder metals, and the steel is one of the harder metals. So we go black and then green. What you do with these is you just coat the wheel in it while it's spinning for 2 seconds, just to get plenty of the black one on first. And then once you've polished it up to however polished you can get it with black, you spin over to another compound. In this case, the next most fine one is green. Do the same, couple of those. We'll probably go, before we get to the green, we'll probably go to the slightly softer wheel, as the instruction has told me to. And then finally, if we want it to shine, which I don't think we would particularly do with this one, we can go to the softer wheel and use the white one. I think is the white one the finest? Don't quote me on that. It's about 2 seconds, wasn't it? See what happens. I'm trying to be quite systematic about where I start, because I do want to make sure I know where I've been. So it's hard to see a difference now, I expect. Maybe you can just see in the light there if I glint it, but I can definitely feel how much smoother it's getting. I think the pitting needed to come out before, of course, to get rid of it, but this is just an experiment. Don't want to spend too much time on this. I think we're just going to speed ourselves forward and get on with the next harder wheel, which is this stripy one, which is rather fetching actually. I quite like it. I have got one of the smaller wheel sizes here because of the power of the grinder is quite low. This is just a 4-inch set, I think. Is this 4-inch set? Possibly even 3-inch set. Who knows what inches are? Is it even relevant? Nobody knows. Bit of green. Can you see how much shinier that is looking now? Well, just with this green compound and this mid-hardness wheel. Quite pleasing for a trowel. Sort of snookered myself with the vise a bit here. Alright, give that a little wipe with the microfiber cloth that came with the kit. Don't know if you can see how shiny that is, but there's a dull shine in some places. I think if I kept going I could get something a lot better, but you can see the difference between before and after. And I don't think I can be bothered to keep going with the trowel. I mean that's a good experiment. You can see where I couldn't get into the edge here because of the vise. But I think what I want to do is move on to something actually useful, because it's also nearly dinner time and I'm hungry, and have a look at this bottom pulley. Now, can you see there's this pitting. Just wondering, maybe I should give that a go with the sisal wheel again straight away. Let's do that. So let's do a sisal wheel. So just a quick example, that's where we started before the Scotch-Brite. That's what we're aiming for now. Just take off that corrosion on the outside. Keep going with that until we're ready. We'll, that way is off I think. We'll move on, having Scotch-Brited a lot of that crap off. Back to our sisal wheel. Screw that on backwards here. And our black compound, and off we go. Okay, so that's after the black compound on the sisal disc. It's really started to kind of shine up around the edge where there's that coating on it, and start to look quite consistent, smooth around the edge here, apart from where I've just put fingerprints on it. So onto the colourful mop, and I think I'm going to stick with the black compound for now, because I think there's a bit more work to do around the edge there. Okay, moving on to the green compound, but the same disc. So that's after the medium hardness mop and black, followed by green compound. You can see there's a real shine on the outside. I think that's not so much to do with my polished shine, but it is originally had that coating. And then, but here on the top is starting to really come up. You can see the difference between this is what it looked like originally inside, where I can't get anything to, and here is what we're ending up with. But I'm going to throw on the very, very soft polishing mop. Just see what it looks like when it's polished. That's after the final mop there. I can see on the top here that I could have done better earlier on in the process to get these. You can see some of the scratches going in and out there, and in this direction here, and that direction there. Could have probably done a little bit better there, but it's only a doorstop, so I'm really, really pleased with that. I'm going to endeavour to get better as I continue on my metal polishing journey. So I'm pretty pleased with the results there. I have found that metal polishing can be quite addictive. I did this sliding bevel as well in the end. I couldn't stop myself. I think I've learnt some lessons straight away. I mean, they didn't have the fine Scotch-Brite discs in stock when I bought this, and I thought a medium grit Scotch-Brite disc would probably be fine just to remove rust. But I have still got some scratches I wasn't able to polish out, and I probably would have been able to get those out with a fine Scotch-Brite disc. But all in all, great kit. We'll see if we can learn a bit more and improve a bit more for the rest of the CD200 and see if we can get the chrome shiny in some places. In the meantime, I'm going to go and stop the door with that. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See you on the next one.